Evelyn Hartman's private jet sliced through the clouds above Manhattan, landing at Teterboro almost an hour earlier than scheduled. She had been in Zurich for a week of tense negotiations and, as CEO of Hartman Global Technologies, her schedule was usually airtight. But something about the endless hotel suites and constant strategy sessions left her hollow this time. She decided on a whim to cancel the dinner with board members, skip the chauffeur, and drive herself back to her townhouse in the West Village. No one, not even her assistant, knew she was coming home early. The black sedan glided into her street under a canopy of maple trees just as the evening's first chill began to settle. The townhouse's tall windows glowed faintly, a soft yellow she hadn't seen in days. She turned off the ignition, feeling an odd tug of nostalgia. Home had become more like a storage space for clothes and paperwork than a sanctuary. Tonight she wanted the opposite: quiet. Maybe even a glass of red wine. She keyed herself in and pushed the heavy oak door open. Inside, the air was warm but smelled faintly of lemon cleaner. She froze on the threshold of the kitchen. A sound, a quick, muffled echoed from beyond the marble island. Someone was in there. She placed her handbag down silently and reached for the umbrella by the door. Ridiculous as a weapon but better than nothing. She stepped forward, her designer heels muted on the cork flooring. In the kitchen, the tall fridge door stood ajar. The cleaning cart was parked by the pantry. That was normal. Every Thursday night the janitorial staff from the building maintenance team cleaned her unit, but they were supposed to come on Fridays, not Thursdays. She peered around the marble counter. There, crouched near the oven, was a man in a grey janitor uniform, a mid-40s, broad-shouldered but weary. In his arms, wrapped in a worn blue blanket, was a little girl, no older than 7. Evelyn's breath caught in her throat. "Who are you?" she demanded, trying to steady her voice. "What are you doing in my kitchen?" The man's eyes widened. He stood slowly, still cradling the child. "Miss Hartman," he said softly, "please don't call the police. I can explain." Evelyn's heart raced. She was used to boardroom ambushes, aggressive investors, lawsuits, but this was her kitchen, her sanctuary. Yet there was something in the man's voice, a raw desperation mixed with dignity, that stopped her from reaching for her phone. The girl peeked out from the blanket, eyes huge and frightened. Evelyn noticed her cheeks were pale, her lips tinged blue from cold. "Explain now," Evelyn said. "My name's Daniel," he said. "I'm on the night shift downstairs, cleaning the lobby. My daughter, her name's Maya, she's sick. We don't have anywhere else to go. I just need a broken bar, a warm place for a while." He swallowed hard, shoulders trembling. "Please," Evelyn stared. This wasn't the narrative she'd built in her head. Not a thief, not a trespasser, or just a father with a sick child. Her mind raced through possibilities. Call security, call the police, throw them out, or our broken bar help. Her company prided itself on empowering communities, yet she had never been forced to confront human suffering so directly. "Why here?" she asked finally. Daniel's face flushed with shame. "I clean this building every week. I know when apartments are empty. I thought yours was empty till tomorrow. We've been sleeping in my car the last few nights. She has a fever and it's getting worse. I was just going to heat some soup, let her rest on the couch, and leave before anyone knew." Mia gave a weak cough. Evelyn's chest tightened. She remembered herself at 7, a lonely, parents fighting, cold winters. Money didn't erase the memories of fear. She stepped closer. "Sit her on the counter," Evelyn said. "I'll get some water." Daniel hesitated, then obeyed. Evelyn filled a glass from the filtered tap and handed it to the girl. "Drink slowly," she murmured, surprising herself with the softness in her own voice. The child managed a small smile. She turned back to Daniel. "You could have called someone. There are shelters." He laughed bitterly. "We tried. Full. Or they want paperwork I don't have. My wife passed away last year. I'm just trying to hold it together." Evelyn's throat ached. She saw the way Daniel kept a protective hand on Mia's back, the way his shoulders bent under invisible weight. In her boardrooms people fought over billion-dollar mergers, but this man was fighting for a warm corner of a kitchen. She gestured toward the breakfast nook. "Sit, both of you." Daniel blinked. "Miss Hartman." "Sit," she said firmly, but her voice carried no malice. As he settled with Mia in the booth, Evelyn moved to the fridge. She had leftover chicken soup from a caterer, expensive but nourishing. She poured it into a pot and turned on the stove. As it warmed, the kitchen filled with a rich, comforting aroma. She glanced back. Daniel sat rigid, unsure if this was kindness or a trap. "You don't have to do this," he murmured. "Apparently I do," she replied. "You're in my kitchen." For a long moment the only sounds were the simmering of soup and the faint hum of the refrigerator. Evelyn felt the axis of her life tilt slightly. She, who had once believed money solved everything, now found herself confronted with a problem money couldn't fix instantly: trust, dignity, survival. When the soup was ready, she ladled it into bowls and set them down. Mia's small hands trembled as she lifted the spoon. Daniel whispered a thank you. Evelyn sat opposite them, her mind still racing but her heart oddly calm. "After you eat," she said, "we're taking her to a doctor." Daniel's eyes filled. "I can't afford her." "I didn't ask if you could afford it," she said. They ate in silence. Outside, the city buzzed with unseen lives. Inside, a billionaire CEO and a janitor shared soup at a kitchen table, the lines between power and powerlessness blurring with every spoonful. As the night deepened, Evelyn found blankets, gave Mia a guest bedroom, and arranged a car to a pediatric clinic. While waiting for the appointment, she sat on the edge of the guest bed watching Mia sleep. Something stirred in her chest, something she hadn't felt in years: responsibility for another human being, not as an employee, not as an asset, but as a child whose life was hanging in the balance. And so began the night that would change all three of their lives, an unexpected collision of worlds, where wealth met hardship, and both were transformed.